10 years had passed since the Yuuzhan Vong War ended, and Anakin Skywalker knew the galaxy's peace was a lie. He stood in the training courtyard of their Coruscant estate, watching Luke and Leia spar. They were 17 now, no longer children, but warriors. Luke's aggressive style hammered against Leia's tactical precision, their practice sabers creating patterns of light in the morning air. Luke drove forward with a heavy overhead strike. Leia caught it on a cross block, twisted her blade, and sent him stumbling past her. Her saber tip touched his back. "Dead," she announced. "Again," Anakin commanded. "Luke, you're telegraphing." "Leia, that counter won't work forever." They resumed immediately. No complaints. Good. Grey Knights didn't whine about their mistakes, they corrected them. His secure communicator chimed. The Emperor's frequency unused for years. "Lord Commander Skywalker." The Emperor's voice carried urgency Anakin had never heard before. "Come to the palace immediately. Bring your children. The wound we feared has opened. The war for this galaxy's soul begins today." The transmission ended. Anakin looked at his children. "Gear up. Battle armor. We're going to see the Emperor. Whatever he shows us. Remember your training. Fear is weakness. Purpose is strength." Luke and Leia exchanged glances but moved without hesitation. They'd been preparing for this moment their entire lives. The Imperial Palace throne room radiated tension. The Emperor stood rather than sat, unprecedented. His golden eyes fixed on them with intensity that made even Anakin's enhanced instincts scream danger. "Approach," the Emperor commanded. "What I show you cannot be undone." Holographic projectors activated, displaying a star map. The Emperor indicated a point in space where the final Vong battle had occurred. 10 years ago, we defeated the Yuuzhan Vong here. Tens of millions died. Thousands of world ships were destroyed. That much death, combined with my psychic assault, tore reality itself. The hologram shifted. The stars were wrong, colors bleeding, space rippling like disturbed water. At the center, a jagged tear, perhaps 1,000 kilometers across, bled wrongness into normal space. "The warp," Anakin said, ice forming in his gut. "Yes. The psychic dimension that destroyed my galaxy is bleeding into yours. For 10 years, the wound has been growing. Now, things are coming through." "Daemons," Luke stated. "Not a question." "Correct. Creatures of pure psychic malevolence. They cannot die because they are not alive. They are chaos incarnate, and they will consume your galaxy if we fail to stop them." "Then we fight them," Leia said. "You've trained us for this." The Emperor's expression darkened. "You cannot fight chaos as you would fight Vong. Chaos corrupts. Every mind it touches becomes a vector for more corruption. Your battle meditation, Anakin's greatest weapon, becomes your greatest vulnerability. The psychic connections you use to coordinate can carry chaos, corruption like poison through veins." Anakin processed this tactically. "You're saying my coordination network is a weakness? Against chaos, yes. One corrupted soldier could infect thousands through your mental links. Then how do we fight?" The Emperor was silent for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice carried millennia of bitter experience. "In my galaxy, I created the Primarch's 20 superhuman generals engineered to resist chaos. I forged space marines as incorruptible warriors. I built an imperium of order and purpose, and I failed. Half my Primarchs fell to corruption. The imperium became tyranny. My body was broken, and I spent 10,000 years as a corpse on a throne." Luke and Leia stared. They'd never heard the Emperor speak of failure. "I made mistakes born of arrogance," he continued. "I believed engineering could overcome corruption. I was wrong. Chaos attacks weakness, emotional, spiritual, psychological weakness. Fear, anger, ambition, despair. These are the doors through which it enters. We have 6 months before the wound becomes too large to seal," the Emperor said. "Already a greater daemon attempts to force through. If it succeeds, your galaxy falls to chaos within decades. What do we need to do?" Anakin demanded. "You must become stronger. Your current enhancements make you formidable against conventional enemies. Against chaos, You are vulnerable. You must undergo the Primarch transformation. Become a being so enhanced that chaos cannot touch your mind. A champion capable of wielding power that would destroy lesser beings. The transformation you mentioned was dangerous. Extremely. The process will push your body and mind to absolute limits. You may not survive. If you do survive, you will no longer be fully human. But without it, you cannot face what's coming. Anakin looked at his children. They needed him strong enough to protect them from this threat. When do we begin? Immediately. But first, see the threat yourself. Take a reconnaissance fleet. Understand what we face. Then return for the transformation. 3 weeks later, Anakin's fleet approached the wound. The indomitable Will led a dozen escort vessels and Ahsoka's Battlepsyker Corps toward the reality scar. Exiting hyperspace in 30 seconds, the navigation officer reported. Lord Commander, sensors are showing anomalous readings. The ship dropped from hyperspace, and Anakin's instincts screamed warnings. Space was wrong. Stars pulsed and shifted. Reality rippled, and at the center of the wound, a jagged tear bleeding colors that had no names. Debris field detected, Rex reported. Configuration matches the missing survey vessels. 3 ships had investigated. None returned. Life signs? Anakin asked. Negative, sir. Through the Force, Anakin sensed movement. Not consciousness, malevolence. Pure hatred given form. Contacts emerging from the wound, Tactical announced. Multiple. They're flickering in and out of existence. Daemons. Dozens of them, ranging from human size to capital ship scale. Battle stations. Psychers, prepare coordination. Maintain mental discipline. Anakin activated battle meditation, reaching out to coordinate his fleet. The moment his consciousness expanded, corruption tried to seep in. The wrongness from the wound contaminated the Force itself, making coordination exponentially harder. I'm having trouble maintaining relay, Ahsoka reported mentally. There's interference. Static. Compensate. Don't let it in. The daemons attacked. Vaguely humanoid shapes made of solidified hatred hurled themselves at the fleet. Turbo-laser fire lanced through space. Most shots passed through harmlessly as the creatures flickered out of phase. Some connected, and the daemons exploded into psychic shrapnel that made every Force-sensitive wince. They're phasing through shields, Rex shouted. A daemon materialized inside an escort vessel. Through battle meditation, Anakin felt the crew dying not quickly, but horribly. The creature wasn't just killing them. It was doing something to their minds that made death seem merciful. Battle strike, report, screaming answered. Then silence. We've lost contact with battle strike. Another escort went silent. Then another. I can't maintain the Psyker network. Ahsoka's mental voice carried strain. Every time I relay, I'm getting whispers. Wrong thoughts. It's trying to get into my head. Reduce the network. Capital ships only. Without full coordination, they were losing their advantage. But better reduced coordination than chaos corruption spreading through their mental links. The battle raged for an hour. They destroyed dozens of lesser daemons. But for every one destroyed, 2 more emerged from the wound. Then Anakin felt it. A presence so malevolent it made the lesser daemons seem insignificant. Through the wound came something impossible. A kilometer of muscle and hatred, multiple limbs ending in claws the size of cruisers, a head that was mostly teeth, and eyes dozens burning with ancient intelligence. What is that? Someone whispered. Greater daemon, Anakin said. That's what we're facing. The creature oriented on their fleet. Anakin felt its attention like physical weight. Little lights in the darkness. So bright. So fragile. Let me taste your fear. The voice slithered through the Force, bypassing defenses. Throughout the fleet, Force sensitives collapsed. Even non-sensitives experienced waking nightmares. 3 crew members threw themselves out airlocks. Anakin fought to maintain concentration, drawing on every Grey Knight lesson. Purpose over emotion. Order over chaos. But the creature's presence was overwhelming. Grey Knight. I know what you are. I have devoured your kind before. The Emperor's toys. You cannot stop what is coming. Get out of my head! Anakin roared, throwing psychic might against the intrusion. For a moment, struggle his will against ancient malevolence. Then the daemon laughed. Strong. Good. I enjoy breaking the strong ones. But not today. Go tell your false emperor, the blood god comes. And when you transform yourself into something worthy, return. I will be waiting. The pressure vanished. The greater daemon retreated toward the wound. All ships, jump to hyperspace now. Emergency jump. The fleet scattered, escaping into hyperspace. As the indomitable will jumped, Anakin caught one last glimpse. The wound was larger than when they'd arrived. In hyperspace, they counted casualties. 4 ships lost entirely, 17 suicides, 43 catatonic, the rest showing severe psychological trauma. Ahsoka approached, pale and drawn. That thing was playing with us. It let us go. I know. We can't fight that. Not like this. No, we can't. Anakin stared at hyperspace. The Emperor was right. I'm not strong enough. None of us are. The debriefing was brutal. Holographic recordings of the greater daemon drew gasps. The creature spoke to you? The Emperor asked. Directly into my mind. It knew what Grey Knights were. It mentioned the blood god. Khorne. The Emperor's face darkened. So it is Khorne's minions, the Lord of Battles, of all chaos gods, perhaps the most straightforward. It desires only combat and carnage. That thing was a kilometer long, Cody reported. Our weapons barely scratched it. Because you fought it with physical weapons. Daemons are psychic constructs. They must be fought with psychic weapons or with will strong enough to deny their existence. Then we need better weapons, Luke said. Weapons can be forged, but weapons alone will not close the wound. The Emperor turned to Anakin. The wound was created by psychic trauma and mass death. To seal it requires an equivalent outpouring of psychic life force, which would kill whoever attempted it, Leia concluded. Almost certainly. No, Anakin said immediately. I'll do it. You are too valuable. We need another way. The Emperor paused. If the sacrifice could be distributed across many minds, rather than one. The Battle Psyker network, Ahsoka realized. If enough of us shared the burden, possible. But it would require hundreds of Force users willing to give significant portions of their life force. Many would lose their Force sensitivity permanently. Some might die. And it would require coordination of unprecedented scale coordination the chaos interference would actively resist. We'll find a way, Anakin said. But first, I need to be strong enough to even attempt it. Master, I'm ready for the transformation. Luke stepped forward. Then let us come on your next mission. We can help. Absolutely not. We're Grey Knights, Leia added. You trained us for this. The Emperor intervened. In my galaxy, I made a terrible mistake. I tried to protect my sons by controlling them, limiting their choices. That arrogance led to betrayal. They are no longer children, Anakin. They are young adults trained as Grey Knights. More importantly, they have a connection to you that could be crucial. You're saying I need them. When you undergo transformation, your mind will expand to levels that risk losing connection with humanity. You will need anchors, beings bound to you by blood and the Force. Your children can serve as those anchors. Without them, you may save the galaxy but lose yourself. Anakin was quiet. Through the Force, he felt his children's determination absolute, unwavering. All right, but we do this smart. Full preparation. If I fall, you retreat immediately. No heroics. Agreed, they said. The next week was intensive preparation. Then came the night before transformation. Anakin found himself unable to rest, standing on the balcony. The city lights stretched endlessly below. Luke and Leia joined him. Nervous? Luke asked. About becoming something that might not be human anymore? Yes. You'll still be you, Leia said. We'll make sure of it. That's what anchors do. I'm counting on it. They stood together in silence, watching the lights. Warriors preparing for war. The transformation chamber occupied an entire sub-level of the Imperial Palace, walls covered in protective sigils. At the center, a vertical pod surrounded by apparatus humming with contained energy. Anakin stood before it in simple robes, his armor removed. For this, he would be stripped to his essence. You understand what will happen? The Emperor asked. My body will be broken down and rebuilt. My mind expanded. My force connection amplified. Those are clinical descriptions. I ask if you understand what it will feel like. Pain, disorientation, expansion of consciousness beyond human limits. Correct. The experience drives most beings mad. Those it doesn't drive mad, it changes fundamentally. You will no longer be fully human. And if I don't do this, the chaos threat consumes this galaxy. The greater daemon is merely the vanguard. Anakin took a deep breath. Then, we proceed. Luke and Leia entered. They wore battle armor, ready to serve as anchors. We'll be here when you wake up, Luke said. Don't forget who you are, Leia added. Anakin stepped into the pod. The interior was lined with gel that conformed to his body. Warm, almost comforting. The process takes 48 hours, the Emperor explained. Luke, Leia, when the final stages begin, you'll establish your psychic anchor. Anakin nodded. The pod door closed, sealing him in darkness. Then the pain began. It started as tingling, like his entire body falling asleep, then burning, as if his blood had become acid. Anakin screamed the sound inhuman as his vocal cords reconstructed. Outside, Luke and Leia heard their father's agony. Every instinct screamed to open the pod, stop the process. It is necessary, the Emperor said. The pain means it's working. His body is being rebuilt to Primarch specifications. Inside, Anakin's consciousness began to fragment as his brain restructured. Thoughts became multiple. He could think several things simultaneously. His mind expanded outward, touching everyone in the chamber, the Emperor's vast consciousness, his children's determination. But he could sense further. Throughout the palace, across Coruscant, billions of minds, each one a point of light. It was overwhelming, beautiful and terrible, and beneath it all, he felt the wound. The chaos corruption whispering promises of power, offering release from pain if he'd just surrender. No, he was Anakin Skywalker. Grey Knight. He had purpose. He clung to that purpose as his consciousness threatened to lose itself. His children's force presences were beacons, familiar, warm, solid. They anchored him to humanity. Hours passed. Days. Time lost meaning as he was unmade and remade. On the 47th hour, the screaming stopped. Is it done? Padme asked. She had insisted on attending despite the horror. Almost. Luke, Leia, establish your anchor now. The twins sat in meditation, reaching out through the Force. Their father's mind was vast now. An ocean where before there'd been a pond. They could feel him perceiving multiple realities, thinking in patterns that made their heads hurt. But at the core, they found him. Anakin, changed but not erased. Dad? Luke sent. Luke, Leia, you're my anchors. His mental voice was deeper, resonant, my connection to who I was. Who you are, Leia corrected. You're still Anakin Skywalker, still human. Am I? I can feel everything, the entire planet, billions of minds. I could lose myself in this. Then don't, Luke's voice was firm. Focus on us. Remember your purpose. That's your humanity. Yes. Purpose. Anakin's consciousness contracted, focusing on his bonds with his children. That's still mine. We've got you, Leia assured. We won't let you lose yourself. Then I'm ready to wake up. The twins opened their eyes. He's ready. The Emperor began the opening sequence. The pod door swung open. What emerged was not entirely the man who'd entered. Anakin stood over 9 feet tall, having to duck to clear the opening. His frame was massively proportioned, his body a perfect weapon. His features had sharpened, becoming more angular, more severe. His eyes glowed faintly with psychic power. He was beautiful and terrible, human in form but transcendent in execution. Anakin. Padme's voice trembled. Those glowing eyes found her, and something softened. Padme, I can hear your heartbeat. Feel your fear and love. His voice was deeper, resonant. I'm still me, changed, but me. Is the transformation complete? The Emperor asked. Yes, Master, I am. different. I understand why Primarchs were so unlike normal humans. This perspective, this power, it would be easy to see humanity as lesser. And do you? Anakin looked at his family. No. They're what I fight for. My humanity isn't in my body. It's in my purpose. And my purpose is protecting them. Then the transformation has succeeded. You retain your soul even as your form transcends humanity. The Emperor's voice carried satisfaction. Now, let us test your capabilities. The chaos threat grows. Anakin straightened to his full height, presence filling the chamber. I'm ready. The daemon said it would wait for me to become worthy. I've become worthy. Now it's time to show it what a true Primarch can do. Luke and Leia moved beside their father. Force presences intertwined through the anchor. We're with you, Luke said. Your anchors. Your humanity. Anakin placed massive hands on their shoulders. Then let's go kill a daemon. 2 days after transformation, Anakin led a test fleet back toward the wound. 100 warships, 50 battle psychers, and his children serving as anchors. The fleet exited hyperspace at the wound perimeter. Even from this distance, the reality scar was visible larger than before, pulsing with hunger. Beginning sensor sweeps, Cody reported. The wound has grown 15%. Corruption radius expanded accordingly. Daemon activity. Contacts detected. Multiple, flickering signatures. Then let's see if this transformation actually works. Anakin closed his eyes, expanding his force senses toward the wound. The sensation was immediately different. Where before the corruption had pressed against his defenses like a weight, now his Primarch-enhanced mind cut through it like a blade. He could perceive the wound clearly, the tear in reality, bleeding warp energy, daemons swimming in chaotic medium. And there, massive and patient, the Bloodthirster waited. Returned. Little Primarch, I feel your change. You are stronger, more worthy. Come closer. Anakin ignored the mental intrusion, his Primarch willpower pushing it aside. He focused on his fleet, beginning coordination tests. All ships, maintain position. I'm initiating battle meditation. Psychers, prepare for amplification. He expanded consciousness to encompass the entire fleet. 100 ships, thousands of crew. Where before this would have required intense concentration, now it felt almost natural. Coordination established, all vessels synchronized, mental clarity stable, no corruption detected. Testing, Phase 1 maneuvering. He projected intention. Execute synchronized turn. Not through verbal command, but shared mental purpose. Every ship turned simultaneously, movements perfectly aligned. Phase 2 combat simulation. He projected a complex scenario. Enemy contacts from multiple vectors. Defensive formations required. Each ship received not just orders but understanding why they moved, how they related to others, what strategy required. The fleet rearranged into a complex defensive sphere. Coordination was flawless. Phase 3, approaching corruption field. This was the true test. Could he maintain coordination as they entered chaos-corrupted space? All ships, advance toward wound. Maintain formation. The fleet pushed forward. Almost immediately, Anakin felt corruption trying to interfere. Background noise threatening to obscure the signal. But his enhanced mind processed it differently. He could identify it, isolate it, filter it out. Entering corruption field. Distance, 50,000 kilometers. Mental clarity holding. Coordination stable. They pushed deeper. 40,000 kilometers. The corruption intensified. But Anakin's battle meditation provided a shield, his ordered intent, creating a barrier. 30,000 kilometers. Daemons noticed them. Smaller entities emerged from the wound, drawn by ordered minds. Daemon contacts. Multiple. They're approaching. Hold position. Let's see if we can fight them while maintaining coordination. The daemons attacked. But this time was different. Anakin's battle meditation. Coordinated defense with perfect precision. Ships fired simultaneously. Combined fire catching creatures at the moment they solidified. The daemon exploded into psychic fragments, and Anakin felt the backlash, but his enhanced mind absorbed it without losing coordination. More daemons. Dozens. Anakin coordinated defense effortlessly, his consciousness tracking each creature while directing counterfire. Ships moved in perfect synchronization, weapons creating overlapping fields that caught demons in impossible crossfire patterns. "Dad, how are you feeling?" Luke's voice came through the anchor bond. "Any corruption getting through?" Anakin assessed his mental state. Focused, purposeful, devoted to protecting his fleet. No dark whispers, no tempting voices. Clear. "My Primarch defenses are holding. The corruption can't find purchase." The assault continued for an hour. Wave after wave, destroyed by perfectly coordinated defense. Not a single ship lost. Not a single crew member corrupted. Finally, attacks stopped. Remaining daemons retreated. All ships, begin withdrawal. Test successful. As they pulled back, Anakin felt the Bloodthirster's presence watching. Its mental voice touched him once more. "Impressive. Little Primarch. Your toys fight better now. But I am no minor daemon. When you come for me, and you will come, you will face a god of war. Enjoy your small victory. It will be your last." Anakin pushed the voice away. The immediate test was successful, but the real battle was still coming. Back at safe distance, Anakin convened strategic meeting. Holographic displays showed sensor data from their approach. The images were chilling. The wound wasn't just growing wider, it was stabilizing. The chaotic edges were becoming more defined, more permanent. "The Bloodthirster is anchoring itself," Ahsoka said grimly. "Every moment near the wound makes the breach more stable, more suitable for permanent passage." "How long?" Rex asked. "Based on growth rate. 3 months. Maybe less. Once it fully stabilizes, the greater daemon can manifest completely. And once that happens, it becomes a beacon for others," Anakin finished. "More daemons flood through. The wound becomes permanent." The hologram focused on the greater daemon itself. Nearly a kilometer of pure rage, twisted body, massive wings, 4 arms ending in claws, head dominated by teeth existing in multiple dimensions. "That thing killed civilizations in the Emperor's galaxy," Cody said slowly. "Not that specific daemon, but its kind. Greater daemons of Khorne are avatars of the blood god, incarnations of rage and martial fury. They don't negotiate. They don't surrender. They fight until destroyed or their enemies are dead." "And you're planning to fight that one-on-one?" Padme demanded. She'd insisted on attending briefings. "I don't have choice. If we don't stop it before full manifestation, we lose everything. The sealing ritual requires someone to maintain psychic focus while channeling life force. If the Bloodthirster interferes, it fails. So someone keeps the daemon busy while ritual happens," Leia summarized. "Exactly. And the only being in this galaxy capable of engaging a greater daemon long enough for ritual completion is me." The weight settled over the room. Anakin would face a god of war in single combat while coordinating a galaxy-wide psychic ritual. "What about us?" Luke gestured to himself and Leia. "We're your anchors. What happens if you fall? The anchor connection protects you from corruption. My defenses extend through the bond. But if I fall, if the daemon overwhelms me, the backlash could be devastating. You might lose force sensitivity. You might lose your minds. You might die." "Silence. We're not backing out," Leia said firmly. "I know. That's what terrifies me." The Emperor's hologram materialized. "Your children speak wisdom, Anakin. You cannot protect them by excluding them. Trust their training." Anakin was quiet, then nodded. "All right. We do this together. But smart. Full preparation. If I fall, you retreat immediately." Agreed. They spent the next hours developing concrete battle plans. Ahsoka organized Psyker teams, 500 Force users volunteering despite risks. Military forces assigned. The Emperor provided Force weapons, a sword for Anakin that hummed with golden psychic energy, capable of harming daemons. 2 weeks, the Emperor announced. "The wound becomes too stable to seal after that. Use the time wisely." 2 weeks later, the strike fleet assembled. 100 warships, 500 Psykers, the Skywalker family aboard command vessel. "All units, final check," Anakin commanded through comm and battle meditation. "We deploy in 1 hour. Remember training, trust coordination. What we do today will be remembered as the day we stopped chaos. The fleet jumped to hyperspace, emerging at wound perimeter. But this time, they didn't pause. They pushed directly toward the breach. Daemons came immediately, waves of them. The Bloodthirster had been spawning lesser daemons in preparation. "Engage," Anakin commanded. Turbo-laser batteries opened in synchronized barrages. Daemons materialized and were caught in overlapping fire, forms shattered before threatening any vessel. Coordination was flawless, but daemons kept coming. Dozens became hundreds. "We're being overwhelmed by numbers," Rex reported. "Then we make a path. All ships, concentrate fire forward, create corridor through daemon swarm." The fleet reformed from defensive sphere into offensive wedge. Combined firepower focused forward. Coordinated assault was devastating, constant energy weapons cutting through the horde. They pushed forward. 25,000 kilometers, 20,000, 15,000. The Bloodthirster noticed. Anakin felt it before seeing it, that massive presence shifting attention. The greater daemon surged forward from the wound, kilometer-long body crossing void with terrifying speed. Little warriors come to play. "I am Scarbrand the Exiled. I am Rage Eternal. I am the Blood God's wrath made flesh, and you are meat." The psychic assault was immense. Crew members clutched heads. Pure terror flooded mental connections. "Hold," Anakin commanded, pouring will into coordination. "It's trying to break us through fear. We are Grey Knights. We are purpose over emotion, order over chaos." "Hold." His words, backed by Primarch psychic force, stabilized the fleet. Fear remained, but became manageable. The Bloodthirster charged. "All weapons, concentrate fire on greater daemon." The entire fleet's firepower converged. Turbo-lasers, ion cannons, proton torpedoes, thousands of weapons firing simultaneously. Impacts were spectacular. It didn't even slow. The daemon's manifestation was so saturated with warp energy that conventional weapons barely scratched it. "Conventional weapons insufficient," Cody reported. "We're not penetrating. Keep firing. Psychers, accelerate ritual preparation. I'm engaging directly." Anakin moved to the hangar, where specialized transport waited. His Primarch form barely fit. With him, he carried the Emperor's Force sword and psychic grenades. "Lord Commander, deploying for direct engagement," Rex announced. "All ships, provide supporting fire." The transport launched, carrying Anakin toward the approaching Bloodthirster. One being against a god of war. But Anakin was no conventional being. As he approached, he expanded battle meditation to maximum. His consciousness touched every mind in the fleet, thousands of soldiers, hundreds of psychers, his children coordinating them into unified purpose. Simultaneously, he prepared for combat, enhanced muscles tensed, Force sword ignited with golden fire, mind focused to razor point. "You dare face me alone, little Primarch?" The Bloodthirster's voice carried amusement. "Brave. Foolish. I will enjoy breaking you." Anakin didn't respond. He attacked. The transport brought him within range. He actually leaped through space using psychic abilities. Hundreds of meters. His enhanced body made it possible. He landed on the Bloodthirster's chest, Force sword already swinging. The blow connected. For the first time, the daemon screamed in genuine pain. The psychically imbued blade cut through warp flesh, drawing blood that burned with dimensional energy. "You hurt me." "Good. Finally, a worthy foe." One massive arm swung toward Anakin with devastating force. He dodged, leaping to another part of the creature's body, enhanced reflexes barely keeping ahead. Where the arm struck, impact would have crushed a capital ship. This was combat beyond anything experienced. He wasn't fighting a being he could outmuscle. He was fighting a physical god whose existence violated natural law. But he was Primarch, and he had his anchors. Through the bond, he felt Luke and Leia feeding him strength. Their presence reminded him he was human, that he fought for more than survival. That purpose fueled him beyond what power alone could achieve. He attacked again, Force sword leaving burning wounds. The Bloodthirster roared with rage and pain, massive form thrashing. "Psychers, begin ritual," Anakin commanded through battle meditation while dodging another blow. "I've got its attention." Throughout the fleet, 500 Force users entered deep meditation. Under Anakin's coordination, minds linked together. They began channeling life force toward the wound. The ritual had begun. The Bloodthirster sensed it immediately. The massive influx of ordered energy toward the wound represented direct threat. No, you will not close my gate. It abandoned attempts to crush Anakin and surged toward the fleet, intent on stopping ritual by slaughtering psychers. All ships, intercept, Anakin commanded while pursuing. Do not let it reach the ritual. The fleet converged, every ship between the Bloodthirster and vessels carrying meditating psychers. Desperate, suicidal defense weapons couldn't truly hurt the daemon, but could slow it. Anakin landed on Creature's back, driving Force sword deep into spine. The daemon howled, turning fury back on him. Another arm sweep, faster than before, caught him off guard. Impact was catastrophic. Even Primarch body couldn't fully absorb it. Ribs cracked, organs bruised. He was sent flying through space. Force sword slipped from grip. Dad! Through anchor bond, Luke and Leia felt his pain. Now you die, little Primarch. The Bloodthirster pursued, all four arms reaching to catch his tumbling form. But Anakin wasn't done. He reached through coordination and found 3 ships closest to his position. Concentrate fire on my coordinates. Now. Ships responded instantly. Dozens of turbolaser beams created a wall of energy. The Bloodthirster hit the barrage and roared as combined assault pushed it back momentarily. That moment was all Anakin needed. He reached through Force, calling Force sword back. The weapon flew through space, responding to his will. It slammed into his palm just as Bloodthirster pushed through barrage. Anakin charged to meet it. They collided in explosion of psychic energy, Primarch against greater daemon, order against chaos, humanity against corruption. Anakin's sword blazed with golden fire as he struck again and again. The Bloodthirster retaliated with crushing blows that Anakin barely dodged. And through it all, the ritual continued. 70% charged, Ahsoka reported through battle meditation. The wound is responding. Reality is healing. You cannot do this. The daemon's fury reached new heights. I will not be cast back. It opened massive mouth. From within came concentrated beam of pure warp energy, raw chaos given form. The beam lanced toward fleet, toward ships carrying meditating psychers. Evade! Anakin screamed through coordination. Ships scattered, battle meditation providing split-second warning. Most escaped, 3 didn't. The vessels disintegrated. Chaos energy unmade them fundamentally, erasing from reality. 300 crew died instantly, screaming minds winking out of Anakin's awareness. The loss hit like physical blow. Through battle meditation, he'd felt them die. Stay with us, Dad. Leia's mental voice cut through pain. You have to stay focused. The ritual needs coordination. We've got you, Luke added. Their anchor pulled him back from despair. He was Anakin Skywalker. Grey Knight. He had purpose, saving the galaxy. Even at cost of 300 lives, mission had to continue. Continue ritual, he commanded, voice hard with grief-forged determination. Their sacrifice will not be meaningless. 85%, Ahsoka reported. The wound is definitely closing. The Bloodthirster saw it. The tear healing, closing around edges. Panic joined rage. Desperate times, little prey. It did something unexpected. Instead of continuing to fight or attacking fleet again, it retreated. The massive daemon flew directly toward closing wound. It's trying to anchor itself on this side, Anakin realized. If it fully manifests before wound closes, we'll have a greater daemon permanently in our reality. Can we stop it? Rex demanded. Anakin made instantaneous decision. Continue ritual at maximum speed. I'm going after it. Anakin! Multiple voices called in alarm, but he was already moving. He pushed transport to maximum speed, pursuing Bloodthirster toward wound. His injured body protested, but Primarch constitution was already healing. The greater daemon reached wound and began forcing itself through remaining breach. Massive form pushed against healing reality. Anakin arrived moments later, Force sword blazing as he attacked Daemon's back. Get back to the warp, he roared, driving blade deep into spine. You are not welcome here. I go nowhere. This galaxy will know the blood god's fury, then know a father's fury first. Anakin attacked with everything. Force sword became blur of golden fire, striking again and again. Each blow pushed daemon back slightly. But creature was immensely strong, continuing to force through. 90%. Ahsoka's voice was desperate. The wound is closing. If he doesn't get away, Lord Commander will be trapped between realities. Through anchor bond, Anakin felt his children's terror. Dad, get out of there! Luke's mental scream was pure panic. You promised, Leia added. Let me in or die with me, the Bloodthirster taunted. Choose, little Primarch. Anakin made his choice. He pulled out psychic grenade. Device hummed with concentrated anti-warp energy enough to disrupt Daemon's manifestation. Never, he said, and detonated grenade directly against Bloodthirster's back. Explosion was catastrophic. Pure anti-warp energy erupted outward. The Bloodthirster screamed as energy disrupted its physical form. Its grip on reality weakened. Complete ritual now, Anakin commanded through battle meditation, putting every ounce of psychic might into the order. 500 psychers released life force simultaneously. Combined offering surge toward wound massive wave of ordered, purposeful psychic energy. Reality snapped back into place. The wound sealed shut, with sound that wasn't quite sound psychic snap every force sensitive felt. The tear closed, healing as if it had never been, and the Bloodthirster, caught mid-manifestation, was wrenched back into warp. Massive form pulled through closing breach, screaming rage fading. This is not over. I will find another way. Your galaxy will burn, then gone. Wound sealed. Chaos incursion stopped. Anakin floated in space where wound had been. Force sword still blazing, body battered, mind exhausted, but alive. Dad? Luke's mental voice was tentative. Dad, are you okay? Through anchor bond, Anakin sent warmth and reassurance. I'm here. I'm okay. We did it. The wound is sealed, Ahsoka confirmed. Sensors show normal space-time. Warp energy dissipating. It's over. The daemon? Forced back. Seal is holding. Moment of silence. Then cheering began. Soldiers who'd witnessed impossible Lord Commander fighting God of War while they sealed reality celebrated survival. But Anakin felt no triumph. Through battle meditation, he felt the cost. 300 crew dead. 37 psychers perished from strain. Another 112 lost force sensitivity permanently. Nearly 500 lives lost or changed. And that was victory. All ships, return to formation, Anakin ordered heavily. We're going home. As transport recovered him, Anakin allowed himself to feel anchor bond fully. Luke and Leia's presence was warm, concerned, proud, grieving. He was still Anakin Skywalker. Battle was won, but war against chaos was never truly over. Return to Coruscant was somber. Fleet crew exhausted, traumatized. Even Anakin's Primarch body ached, but Emperor's summons came immediately upon orbit entry. Anakin made his way to throne room with Luke, Leia, and Ahsoka. Emperor was standing unusual. Golden form seemed brighter, expression contemplative. You have done what I failed to do in my own galaxy, he said without preamble. Sealed a chaos breach before permanent. Bloodthirster forced back. Immediate threat neutralized. At significant cost, Anakin replied. Nearly 500 casualties. A cost, yes. But compared to alternative, entire galaxy falling to chaos, billions dying in madness. Your casualties, while tragic, are fraction of what would have been lost. That doesn't make their deaths easier. No. And it shouldn't. Day you find such losses easy is day you become unfit for command. Emperor moved to face Anakin directly. You fought Greater Daemon to stand still while maintaining battle meditation across entire fleet. Coordinated psychic ritual of unprecedented scale. Made tactical decisions under pressure that saved countless lives. You have proven yourself true Primarch, Anakin Skywalker. Does that mean threat is over? Luke asked. Wound sealed. Daemon gone. Are we safe? Emperor was quiet for long moment. Safe is relative term. Immediate breach sealed, yes. Skarbrand forced back to warp. But chaos is patient, and its attention has been drawn to your galaxy. What does that mean? Means, while you won this battle, war continues. Skarbrand will seek another way. Other chaos entities will try creating new breaches, corruption that spread to your worlds before sealing not entirely erased. Seeds of chaos remain, waiting to sprout. Weight of his words settled. Even victory wasn't total. However, Emperor continued, you now possess something invaluable knowledge. You know how to seal chaos breaches. You know battle meditation can resist corruption. You know coordinated psychic effort can push back warp. These tools, combined with Primarch abilities and Grey Knight training, give advantages I never had. But we can't be everywhere, Ahsoka pointed out. If chaos tries breaking through multiple locations simultaneously, then you must train others. Spread knowledge, create network of chaos resistance spanning galaxy. Grey Knight philosophy must become doctrine, taught widely enough that mental defenses against corruption become instinctive. Chaos Defense Network, Anakin mused. Psychers stationed throughout galaxy, monitoring for breaches, ready to respond. Precisely. You cannot seal every wound yourself, but you can prepare others to handle smaller incursions while you focus on major threats. Leia stepped forward. And corrupted worlds? Places infected before we sealed wound? How do we help them? Through same methods that sealed breach-ordered thought, purposeful action, community over isolation. Corruption feeds on negative emotions, counter with opposites, fear with understanding, rage with calm, despair with hope. Psychological treatment, not military strategy, Padme observed. Because it is. This is what I tried explaining in my galaxy, but failed implementing. Chaos cannot be defeated through force alone, must be starved of food source negative emotions. Society built on hope, understanding, purpose resists chaos naturally. My Imperium failed because it became society of fear and zealotry, which fed chaos rather than fighting it. So we win hearts and minds, not just battles, Luke summarized. Exactly. Emperor paused. There is one thing I must warn about. Bloodthirster spoke of finding another way. Chaos will not abandon designs on your galaxy. There may come time when threat resurfaces, perhaps stronger. You must be prepared. We will be, Luke said firmly. We'll make sure of it, Leia added. Emperor nodded. Then our formal guidance relationship reaches natural conclusion. You no longer need me telling you what to do. You know your purpose. You have family's anchor. You possess tools for task. Future you build from here is yours to determine. What will you do? Ahsoka asked. Remain as advisor when needed. Resource for knowledge. Support for major threats. But I will not dictate. This galaxy, its protection belongs to those who live in it. That includes you, Anakin Skywalker, and your remarkable family. They left throne room with mixed emotions, gratitude for his trust, determination to prove worthy. Outside palace, walking to transport, strategic discussions began immediately. We need to expand Grey Knight training, Luke said. More elite coordinators. Regional defense networks. Battle meditation for non-combat applications, Leia added. Disaster response, community building. Same powers for peace as war. Democratic oversight, Padme contributed. Transparent reporting. Checks and balances. Emperor's Imperium failed from concentrated authority. We won't repeat that. Anakin listened to strategic planning and felt something shift. They weren't just thinking tactically, they were thinking systematically, building long-term galactic defense. Good plans, he approved. All of them. We start immediately. They returned home. Modified apartment accommodating Anakin's Primarch frame. Immediate crisis past, but work beginning. And for first time since transformation, Anakin felt ready for it. 3 months passed. Galaxy slowly healing. Corrupted worlds receiving help. Psyker teams traveling to affected systems. Luke training first class of new Grey Knights on Dantooine. Leia developing battle meditation applications beyond warfare. Anakin split time between overseeing broader initiative and preparing for inevitable next threat. because he knew chaos would return. During quiet evening, he suddenly stiffened, his expanded awareness detecting something deeply wrong. 3 separate chaos breaches, opening simultaneously in different sectors. Not as large as original wound, but significant. Through them, daemon energy bleeding into real space. "No," he breathed. "It's happening again." Within hours, reports confirmed worst fears. Worlds near breaches experiencing rapid corruption. Citizens turning violent. Mutations appearing. Emperor's holographic form materialized. "Bloodthirster kept its promise," he said. "It found another way. 3 simultaneous breaches too many for single response. While you seal one, others will stabilize and grow." "How is this possible?" Padme demanded. "Reality was healed at one location. But psychic trauma from your battle, death of psychers, daemon's rage, these created resonance points. Weak spots chaos could exploit. Scarbrand has been patient, waiting for right moment to strike at multiple points. Then we seal them all," Anakin said firmly. 3 teams, 3 rituals, simultaneous closure. That would require splitting your coordination. Without you personally guiding each ritual, precision necessary for sealing becomes nearly impossible. And if you attempt coordinating all 3 from single location, psychic strain would be immense even for Primarch. "There has to be way." Luke and Leia arrived, having felt father's distress through anchor bond. 3 breaches, Leia summarized, all needing simultaneous sealing, all protected by daemons, all requiring battle meditation coordination. That's impossible for one person. "Not impossible," Luke said slowly. "Just requires different approach." Everyone looked at him. Dad's been coordinating millions of minds. What if that coordination became distributed? What if instead of trying to guide 3 rituals, he taught others to guide them? We become coordinators. "You're suggesting Luke and I each take a breach," Leia realized. "Guide sealing ritual at our locations while Dad coordinates us centrally." "Exactly. We've been his anchors for months. We understand how his mind works, how coordination flows. We can serve as sub-nodes in his network, each managing one breach while he maintains overall pattern." Anakin considered carefully. His children had grown immensely in psychic capabilities. Anchor bond was strong, well-practiced. Could they handle responsibility of guiding sealing ritual? "It's risky," he said. "You'd be operating in chaos-corrupted space, fighting daemons while maintaining psychic focus. One mistake could be catastrophic." "We're Grey Knights," Luke replied simply. "We were trained for this, and we're Skywalkers," Leia added. "When have we ever backed down from impossible odds?" Emperor observed this exchange with approval. "Your children show wisdom, Anakin. Distributed approach has merit. 3 coordinators linked through your central battle meditation, each managing one breach. Combined psychic effort of all 3 rituals, synchronized through your guidance, would seal all breaches simultaneously." "And Bloodthirster?" Ahsoka asked. "It won't just let us seal its doorways. It cannot be everywhere at once," Emperor replied. "It will focus on one breach, likely whichever seems most threatening. That breach will face Greater Daemon directly." "I'll take that one," Anakin said immediately. "No." Luke's voice was firm. "You need to maintain central coordination. If you're distracted fighting Scarbrand, whole network collapses. I can't send you to fight Greater Daemon alone. You're not sending us anywhere. We're choosing to go. Question is, which of us faces Bloodthirster?" "Me," Leia said before Luke could continue. "My battle meditation skills are stronger. I can maintain ritual focus while coordinating defense. Luke's combat abilities are sharper. He should take one of other breaches where daemon activity will still be heavy." "Leia, no. This isn't negotiable, Luke. We're playing to strengths. I coordinate better under pressure. You fight better under pressure. We each take role that suits us." Padme had been silent. Now she spoke. "You're both 17. My children. Discussing, facing interdimensional horrors like tactical exercise. We stopped being children when we accepted Grey Knight training," Leia replied. "You raised us to help others, stand against evil, do what's necessary regardless of personal cost. That's exactly what we're doing." Padme was quiet, then nodded. "If you're doing this, you do it right. Full preparation, maximum support. No heroic solo stands. You work as team, follow plan, and come home. All of you. Yes, Mom, they said together. And you, she turned to Anakin. You keep them safe. Use that Primarch power to protect them. I don't care about galaxy or greater good. Keep our children safe. I will. I promise. Next week was intensive preparation. Anakin worked with Luke and Leia, perfecting distributed coordination technique. They practiced linking minds through his central battle meditation, each twin taking responsibility for coordinating subset of overall network. Difficult work, maintaining three-way psychic link while each twin simultaneously coordinated own subordinate network required precision never attempted. But they were Skywalkers. They refused to accept failure. Ahsoka organized psyker teams for each breach, 3 groups of 200 Force users each, all volunteers understanding risks. Military forces assigned. Emperor provided additional weapons. Force swords for Luke and Leia, psychic grenades, armor inscribed with protective sigils. Finally, after week preparation, they were ready. Night before deployment, no tender family moments, just warriors preparing for battle. Remember, Anakin said, anchor bond is our strength. Keep it strong. Through me, you'll feel each other across distances. We're not 3 separate forces, we're one family fighting on 3 fronts. And if Bloodthirster overwhelms me, Leia asked practically, then Luke and I abandon our breaches and come support you. We lose those battles but keep you alive. That defeats purpose. If we don't seal all 3 simultaneously, then we find another way. Leia, listen. You are more important than mission. Luke is more important than mission. We succeed together or regroup and try again. No martyrdom. Understood? Understood, both twins replied. They deployed next morning. 3 strike fleets assembled at central staging point before splitting to respective targets. Anakin's fleet took breach in Outer Rim Vergesso asteroids, 200 experienced psychers. Luke's fleet headed for Mid-Rim breach near Sullust. Younger but enthusiastic psychers, substantial military support. Leia's fleet headed for Core World breach near Chandrila breach. Intelligence suggested Bloodthirster would prioritize, being closest to galactic civilization's heart. As fleets separated, Anakin activated distributed battle meditation. Can you hear me? He projected. Clear as speaking, Dad. Luke's mental voice responded. Same here, Leia added. Link is stable. I can feel both of you distinctly. Good. Remember, maintain local coordination, but keep channel to me open. If you need support, if you feel corruption seeping in, call out immediately. We're stronger together. Understood, they replied in unison. Journey to each breach took several days. During that time, Anakin monitored both twins through Link, feeling their preparations, their resolve, their controlled fear. They were his children. Despite training, still young 17, heading into battles that would challenge seasoned veterans. But they were also Grey Knights and Skywalkers. As Leia's fleet approached Chandrila breach, she felt at first Bloodthirster's presence, massive and malevolent, waiting near reality tier. Dad, I've got confirmation. Scarbrand is here. Definitely prioritizing this breach. Through Link, Anakin felt her fear spike before training clamped down. Purpose over emotion. Order over chaos. Stay focused. Your military support will engage Daemon's physical form while you coordinate ritual. Don't try fighting it directly, let forces handle that while you maintain psychic focus. Understood. But Dad, it's big. Even bigger than before. I think forcing it back made it angrier. Greater daemons feed on rage. Its anger makes it stronger but also more predictable. Use that. Luke's fleet arrived at Sullust breach next. Less dire, no greater daemon, but heavy concentration of lesser daemons guarding Tear. Thousands of them, Luke reported. They've established perimeter around breach. Getting close enough for ritual will require fighting through them. Your force weapons will be effective against lesser daemons. Coordinate psychers to provide defensive shielding while military forces clear path. Got it. Beginning approach now. Finally, Anakin's fleet arrived at Vergesso breach. Intermediate situation, moderate daemon presence. No greater daemon, but breach itself was largest of 3. All forces in position, Anakin reported through Link. Initiating synchronized approach on my mark. Remember, we seal all 3 simultaneously. Ritual must be perfectly coordinated, or we risk reality tearing further. Ready, Luke confirmed. Ready, Leia echoed, mental voice steady despite facing Bloodthirster. Mark. Begin approach. 3 fleets, separated by thousands of light years, began synchronized assault on chaos breaches. At Chandrila, Leia's fleet met immediate resistance. Bloodthirster didn't wait. It surged forward, massive form crossing void with impossible speed. Little Lightbringer returns. The Primarch's daughter. So brave, so foolish. I will enjoy breaking you and showing your father the pieces. Defensive formation, Leia commanded through coordination. All weapons, concentrate fire on Greater Daemon. Don't let it reach Psyker vessels. Fleet responded with perfect synchronization. Ships arranged in protective patterns, weapons creating overlapping fire converging on Scarbrand. Daemon roared with rage and pleasure. Combat was its purpose. Violence was its joy. Leia, your fleet is fully engaged. Anakin's mental voice reached her. Maintain ritual preparation. I'm feeling your psychers, they're steady. Begin meditation sequence. Dad, the daemon is right on top of us. I can barely maintain coordination with this psychic pressure. Use your anchor to me. Let my Primarch defenses extend through Link. Filter daemon's influence through our connection. Leia leaned into anchor bond. Immediately, she felt Father's presence strengthening her defenses. Bloodthirster's psychic assault, which had been nearly overwhelming, became manageable. Better. Thank you. Focus on your task. Military forces can handle Scarbrand's physical form. You handle ritual. At Sullust, Luke pushed through Daemon's swarm. Force weapons blazed with psychic energy as he led assault personally. Squad Alpha, left flank. Beta, secure center. Gamma, prepare corridor for Psyker advancement. Proto-Space Marines responded with precision. Daemons fell by dozens, forms dissipating as force weapons cut through manifested bodies. Dad, we're through initial perimeter. Clearing path to breach now. Good progress. How are your Psykers? Steady. Some anxiety but controlled. Veterans keeping younger ones calm. Starting meditation preparation now. Excellent. Maintain progress. Leia's engaged with Bloodthirster but holding. Tell her we're with her. She knows. She can feel you through Link. At Vergesso, Anakin engaged daemon forces with overwhelming power. Primarch strength combined with battle meditation coordination made short work of lesser daemons. But primary focus wasn't combat, it was maintaining 3-way psychic link binding his family's efforts. Through connection, he felt Luke's determination fighting through swarms. Felt Leia's focused concentration, coordinating defense against Bloodthirster while preparing Psykers. His children were performing brilliantly, but he also felt their strain. Leia especially was being pushed to limits. Bloodthirster's constant assault required maintaining combat coordination while simultaneously preparing for complex psychic ritual. Even with his support, mental load was immense. Leia. Status report. Psykers in position. Beginning meditation sequence. But Dad, Scarbrand is getting closer. Our weapons slowing it, not stopping. It's going to reach us soon. How soon? Maybe 20 minutes. Not enough time to complete ritual. Then we accelerate. All forces, compress timeline. Begin synchronized ritual in 10 minutes, not planned 20. That's too fast, Luke protested. Our Psykers aren't fully centered yet. They have to be. If Scarbrand breaches Leia's formation, we lose everything. Luke, trust your team. They're Grey Knights. They'll adapt. Understood. Pushing acceleration. Next 10 minutes were most intense of Anakin's life. He maintained central coordination, guiding 3 separate ritual preparations while simultaneously tracking demon threats at each location. Primarch mind processed information at speeds impossible before transformation. At Chandrila, Leia fought desperate defensive action. Bloodthirster was massive, unstoppable, every blow destroying ships despite coordinated evasion. She lost 7 vessels in first 10 minutes. Dad, we're losing too many. Stay focused on ritual. Military casualties are acceptable if ritual succeeds. These are people, not acceptable casualties. I know. And their sacrifice will mean something if you complete sealing. Honor them by succeeding. Harsh words cut through emotional distress. He was right. She was Grey Knight. Purpose over emotion. Ritual had to succeed. Psychers, begin final synchronization, she commanded. Ritual commences in 60 seconds. At Sullust, Luke cleared path to breach. Psychers arranged in circle around reality tear. Force presences creating lattice of ordered energy. Dad, we're in position. Ready for ritual. Hold for synchronization. Leia needs another 30 seconds. Understood. Holding. At Vergesso, Anakin completed positioning. 200 experienced psychers, meditation already deep and focused, awaiting only his command. All forces, prepare for synchronized ritual initiation. On my mark, begin channeling life force toward breaches. Remember, energy must be offered freely, with purpose and intention. Think of what you're protecting. Think of lives you're saving. Let that purpose fuel your sacrifice. Ready, Luke confirmed. Ready, Leia echoed. Mark. Begin ritual. Across 3 separated locations, 600 psychers simultaneously entered deep meditation and began offering life force. Coordinated sacrifice, guided by Anakin's central battle meditation and amplified by children's local coordination, created massive outpouring of ordered psychic energy. The effect was immediate and spectacular. At each breach, reality began responding. Tiers in space-time, which had been stable and growing, started shrinking. Ordered, purposeful energy acted as healing force, stitching reality back together where chaos had torn it. Daemons felt it too. Lesser daemons near breaches screamed in pain as anti-chaos energy disrupted manifestations. Many dissipated entirely. But Bloodthirster was no lesser daemon. Scarbrand felt its gateways closing and rage reached new heights. It abandoned systematic assault on Leia's fleet and charged directly at psycher vessels, intent on breaking ritual through destruction. Dad, it's coming straight for Ritual Circle. I can't stop it. Weapons concentration. Hit it with everything. We are. It's not enough. Through Link, Anakin felt daughter's terror as greater daemon closed distance. In moments, it would reach meditating psychers and tear them apart. He made instant decision. Luke, take over central coordination. What? Dad, I can't. You can. I've taught you. Feel the pattern. Maintain link. You have connection to Leia as strong as I do. Coordinate both your breaches while I deal with Scarbrand. How are you going to... No time. Luke, now. Anakin released central position, feeling Luke scramble to catch falling pattern. Son was untested at this level, but capable and had no choice. With coordination responsibilities temporarily transferred, Anakin did something that shouldn't have been possible. He reached through Link to Leia, not just mentally, but physically. Primarch abilities, mastery of force, sheer willpower combined into single desperate act. He translocated. Physical form dissolved into pure force energy at Vergesso Breach and reconstituted at Chandrila in Heartbeat. Maneuver was agonizing, impossible, and absolutely necessary. He materialized directly in path of charging Bloodthirster, force sword already ignited. You. The daemon's surprise was genuine. Impossible. How? I'm Primarch. Abomination. Impossible is what we do. Then they clashed. Collision between Anakin and Scarbrand was cataclysmic. Primarch Force Sword met Daemon Claws in explosion of psychic energy, creating shockwaves visible across void. Two combatants engaged in violence, transcending normal combat clash of fundamental forces. Order against chaos, purpose against rage. Anakin's Primarch enhancements gave him strength approaching Daemon's, though Scarbrand was still larger and more powerful. But Force Sword evened odds. Each strike burned Daemon's flesh, leaving wounds that didn't heal quickly. Little Primarch returns to die. Scarbrand roared, all 4 arms swinging with devastating force. Anakin dodged, enhanced reflexes keeping ahead of deadly blows. You tried to kill my daughter. Bad decision. Counterattack was precise and brutal slash across Daemon's midsection opening burning wound. Bloodthirster screamed with pain and rage, fury intensifying. Through distributed link, Anakin felt Luke maintaining coordination. Son was struggling with sudden responsibility, but managing. Ritual continued across all three breaches, Psychers maintaining meditation despite chaos. Dad, I've got coordination stable, Luke's mental voice reported. How long can you hold daemon? As long as necessary. Focus on ritual. How's progress? 30% complete. Breaches are shrinking but slowly. We need at least another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Eternity when fighting greater daemon. Anakin pressed attack, using every advantage Primarch form provided. Enhanced speed let him strike multiple times before Skarbrand could respond. Force sword cut wounds that would be instantly fatal to lesser beings. All ships, maintain defensive perimeter around ritual circle, he commanded between sword strikes. Don't let lesser daemons through while I occupy Bloodthirster. Fleet responded. Coordinated fire, creating barrier keeping remaining minor demons at bay. Leia, freed from direct combat coordination by Father's arrival, poured energy into guiding ritual. Dad, I can feel breach shrinking, she reported. Ritual is working. Good. Stay focused. Luke, status on your breach? Same here. 40% now. Psychers holding strong. And Vergesso? Your Psychers are veterans they're maintaining without direct guidance. 50% complete. Progress. Actual progress. They might pull this off. But Skarbrand wasn't done. Bloodthirster, realizing direct combat with Primarch wasn't succeeding in breaking ritual, changed tactics. It stopped fighting Anakin directly and began projecting psychic might outward in massive assault on meditating Psychers. Mental attack was devastating. Waves of pure rage and bloodlust crashed against meditation circle. Psychers screamed as Daemon's hatred tried shattering concentration. Hold meditation, Leia commanded desperately. Don't let it break focus. But several Psychers faltered. Life force contributions flickered, weakening overall ritual. Dad, we're losing coherence. Anakin acted fast. He reached through force to shield Psychers. Primarch consciousness created mental barrier around them, absorbing worst of Skarbrand's psychic assault. Strain was immense. He was now simultaneously fighting daemon physically, shielding 200 minds psychically, and maintaining link with children. Even enhanced brain began showing stress. I can't maintain this for long, he warned. Shields are draining me. Luke, can you help? Leia asked. I'm already stretched thin with coordination. If I split focus to shielding, ritual might desynchronize. Then I'll shield, Leia decided. Dad, transfer mental barrier to me. You focus on physical combat. I'll protect Psychers. Leia, that's too much. I can handle it. Trust me. She was right. He had to trust her. Transferring shields. Now, he felt daughter take over mental barrier, consciousness expanding to cover all 200 Psychers in her circle. Strain hit her immediately. He felt it through link, but she held firm. Free from shielding burden, Anakin launched himself at Skarbrand with renewed ferocity. Attacks became more aggressive, strikes more powerful. Daemon was forced to defend itself. Attention pulled from psychic assault. Annoying insect, Skarbrand roared, engaging him fully again. That's the spirit. Come on, Daemon. Let's finish this. They fought with savage intensity. Anakin's force sword carved burning lines across Bloodthirster's massive form. Daemon's claws came dangerously close to ending him several times, each miss destroying vacuum where he'd been milliseconds before. Through link, Anakin tracked ritual progress. 60%, 70%. Breaches were closing, reality healing under combined sacrifice of 600 dedicated force users. But cost was mounting. At Sullust, Luke lost 3 Psychers to strain. At Chandrila, under Leia's coordination, 2 more succumbed. At Vergesso, without Anakin's direct guidance, 4 fell. Each death sent ripples through coordination network. Anakin felt them pass, felt their final moments as they gave everything for galaxy's survival. We're losing people, Leia said, grief coloring mental voice. They knew risks. Anakin replied, though losses cut him too. Honor their sacrifice by succeeding. 80%, Luke reported. Breaches are definitely closing, reality reasserting itself. Keep pushing. We're almost there. Skarbrand sensed defeat approaching. Gateways it had worked to open were closing, sealed by ordered energy it despised. Rage gave way to desperation. No, I will not be denied again. Daemon did something unexpected. Instead of continuing fight with Anakin, it turned and charged directly at Breach itself, its own gateway into real space. Intent was clear. Anchor itself fully before closing completed. No, Anakin pursued, Primarch speed barely keeping pace with Daemon's desperate charge. Dad, it's heading for Breach, Leia warned. If it gets through before we complete seal, it becomes permanent. I know. Luke, accelerate ritual. We're at 85%. I can't push faster without killing more psychers. Then I'll have to stop it directly. Anakin pushed enhanced body to absolute limits. Legs drove him forward faster than any ship could react. Mind calculated angles while maintaining links with children. Force sword burned bright with determination. He caught Bloodthirster just as it reached breach edge. Sword drove deep into Daemon's back, anchoring him to creature. Release me, Primarch. Never. Using Daemon's momentum, Anakin climbed massive form, driving sword deeper with each movement. Bloodthirster screamed and thrashed, trying to dislodge him, but he held on with Primarch's strength. 90%, Ahsoka's voice came through comm. Breaches are almost sealed. Dad, get away from Breach. Luke's mental voice carried panic. If it closes while you're that close, then it closes. Stay focused. Dad! Luke, Leia, I need you to trust me. Whatever happens, complete ritual, save galaxy. That's what matters. You matter. Leia's mental scream was raw with fear. And I'll make it. But ritual comes first. Promise me. No matter what you see or feel through Link, complete ritual. Through Bond, he felt their anguished agreement. 95%, Luke reported. Almost there. Dad, please get clear. Breach was shrinking rapidly, reality closing wound, and Anakin was still attached to Daemon, still driving sword deeper, keeping it from fully entering either dimension. Moment of clarity. Anakin understood what he needed to do. He pulled out last psychic grenade. Device hummed with anti-warp energy, powerful enough to disrupt Greater Daemon's manifestation. Hey, Skarbrand, he shouted over Daemon's roaring. Catch. He triggered grenade and shoved it directly into wound he'd carved in Daemon's back. Detonation was spectacular. Anti-warp energy exploded inside Bloodthirster's physical form, disrupting manifestation from within. Daemon screamed as grip on reality weakened. Simultaneously, ritual completed. 100%. Luke's triumphant shout rang through Link. Ritual complete. Sealing now. Across 3 locations, breaches slammed shut. Reality reasserted itself with force, sending psychic shockwaves across galaxy. Tears healed, closed, vanished. And Bloodthirster, caught at closing moment, was wrenched back into warp. Massive form pulled through sealing breach, screams fading as forced back to dimension. Anakin, still attached, felt himself being pulled too. Dad! Both twins screamed through Link. At last possible moment, Anakin released grip on Force Sword, leaving it embedded in Skarbrand's back and pushed away with all strength. Daemon was pulled through, but Anakin remained on this side, barely. Breach, sealed behind Bloodthirster, with final snap of reality. Silence fell. Anakin floated in space, body battered, Force Sword lost, energy depleted, but alive. And through Link, he felt his children alive, exhausted but alive. Dad. Leia's mental voice was trembling. Dad, are you okay? I'm here. I'm okay. The daemon? Gone, Luke confirmed. All 3 breaches sealed. Sensors show normal space-time across all locations. We did it. They had done it. 3 simultaneous chaos breaches, sealed by coordinated sacrifice, Greater Daemon forced back. Cost had been high, 37 psychers dead across 3 locations, another 50 with force sensitivity permanently lost, but they had succeeded. Coming to pick you up, Dad, Leia announced. Don't go anywhere. Wasn't planning on it. Leia? Yes, you did brilliantly. Both of you. I'm proud. Save praise for after we get you home safely. As Leia's fleet moved to recover him, Anakin allowed himself to feel relief. Battle was won. Children were safe. Galaxy was protected. For now, return to Coruscant was somber. Fleet crew exhausted, traumatized. Even Anakin's Primarch body ached. Emperor summoned them immediately. Throne room. Emperor standing. Expression contemplative. You have done what I failed to do, he said. Sealed chaos breach before permanent. 3 breaches. Bloodthirster forced back. You have proven yourself, Anakin Skywalker. At significant cost, Anakin replied. Nearly 500 casualties. Compared to alternative entire galaxy falling. Your casualties, while tragic, are fraction of what would have been lost. You fought greater daemon while maintaining coordination. You coordinated unprecedented psychic ritual. You saved countless lives. Does that mean threat is over? Luke asked. Emperor was quiet. Threat is never over. Immediate breach sealed, yes. But chaos is patient. Scarbrand will seek another way. Other entities will try creating new breaches. Corruption that spread not entirely erased. Seeds remain. Weight settled. Even victory wasn't total. However, Emperor continued, you now possess knowledge. You know how to seal breaches. You know battle meditation can resist corruption. You know coordinated effort can push back warp. These tools give advantages I never had. But we can't be everywhere, Ahsoka pointed out. Then you must train others. Spread knowledge. Create networks spanning galaxy. Grey Knight philosophy must become doctrine. And corrupted worlds? Leia asked. Through same methods, ordered thought, purposeful action. Corruption feeds on negative emotions, counter with opposites. There is one warning, Emperor added gravely. Bloodthirster spoke of finding another way. Chaos will not abandon designs. Threat may resurface, perhaps stronger. You must be prepared. We will be, Luke said firmly. Emperor nodded. Then our formal guidance reaches conclusion. You no longer need me telling what to do. You know purpose. You have anchor. You possess tools. Future you build is yours to determine. They left throne room. Outside, strategic discussions began immediately. We need to expand training, Luke said. More elite coordinators, regional defense networks. Battle meditation for non-combat applications, Leia added. Disaster response, community building. Democratic oversight, Padme contributed. Transparent reporting. Emperor's Imperium failed from concentrated authority. We won't repeat that. Anakin listened and felt something shift. They were building systematically. Long-term galactic defense. Good plans, he approved. All of them. We start immediately. They returned home. Immediate crisis passed, but work beginning. Months passed. Grey Knight Order expanded under Luke's leadership. Academy trained Force users across galaxy. Battle Meditation Institute proved successful. Leia-coordinated reconstruction efforts helped populations process trauma. Democratic reforms adopted throughout Alliance. Anakin split time between overseeing initiatives and preparing for next threat. Because he knew chaos would return. Standing on balcony one evening, looking out at Coruscant's lights, Luke joined him. Thinking about next war? Luke asked. Always. Chaos never stops. We defeated Scarbrand twice. It'll come again, or something worse. We'll be ready. The network we're building, regional coordinators, rapid response teams, distributed defense, it's working. Good. Because when it comes, it'll be worse than before. They learn from defeats, adapt. Next time won't be 3 breaches. It'll be 10, 20. Then we'll need more Primarchs. Anakin looked at his son sharply. The transformation is too dangerous, too costly. Not suggesting full Primarch, but enhanced coordinators. Elite tier between normal Grey Knights and you. Enough power to handle regional threats, distributed enough that no single point of failure. You've been thinking about this. We all have. You can't be everywhere. You're mortal, even with enhancements. Eventually, you'll fall. We need succession, legacy, System that continues without you. Hard truth. But truth nonetheless. Start developing protocols, Anakin said. Elite coordinator training. Enhancement procedures that don't require full Primarch transformation. Build redundancy. Already working on it. They stood together, watching lights. You know what I realized? Luke said. We're not fighting to win. Chaos can't be won against. We're fighting to survive. To hold the line. Forever. Yes, that's exhausting. Eternal war with no victory condition. That's what being Grey Knight means. Not winning. Enduring. Protecting. Forever. Luke nodded. Then we'd better train the next generation well, because this war outlasts all of us. It does. But that's okay. We don't need to win the war. We just need to win today. Then tomorrow. Then the day after. One battle at a time. Forever. Forever. Luke echoed. Epilogue. The Eternal Warrior. 2 decades later, Anakin Skywalker stood at edge of unknown regions, looking out at stars he'd once explored. His children were grown. Luke led Grey Knight Order thousands of Force users trained in balanced philosophy. Leia had become Galaxy's foremost expert in psychic coordination for civilian applications. Anakin had become something else. Not just warrior or protector or leader. Eternal Sentinel. He'd fought chaos breaches 17 times in 20 years. Each time, harder than last, daemons learned, adapted. But so did he. His Primarch abilities hadn't diminished. If anything, they'd grown. Experience refined power into weapon of terrifying efficiency. Luke approached. Son was 37 now, bearing that of seasoned commander. Father. Luke still used formal address when discussing strategy. Long-range sensors detected anomaly in Sector 7. Energy signature matches chaos, corruption. Early stage, small breach. How small? Maybe 10 kilometers across. Growing slowly. Daemon presence? Minor entities. No greater daemon detected yet. Good. Deploy regional response team. Seal it before it stabilizes. I'll provide coordination support from here. You're not going personally? Not necessary. This is exactly what we built the system for. Regional teams handle minor threats. I only deploy for major incursions. And when next major incursion comes, Anakin smiled grimly. Then I suit up, grab a Force sword, and go kill some daemons, same as always. You ever get tired of it? The constant war? Every day. But tired doesn't matter. Chaos doesn't care if I'm tired. It keeps coming. So I keep fighting. You've been fighting for decades. Don't you want rest? Anakin looked at stars. Out there, in darkness between galaxies, chaos festered, plotting, waiting, seeking new ways to corrupt and consume. Rest is for after galaxy is safe. Since galaxy will never be safe, I don't rest. I stand watch, forever if necessary. That's bleak. That's realistic. This isn't story with happy ending, Luke. This is eternal war. We don't get to win and go home. We win and prepare for next battle. Then win again. Then prepare again. Forever. And you're okay with that? Anakin considered. Was he okay with it? Eternal war, no victory, just endless fighting. I'm Grey Knight. Purpose over emotion. Order over chaos. My purpose is standing between galaxy and darkness. If that requires eternal war, then that's what I do. What happens when you finally fall? When daemon finally gets you, then you take my place. Then your students take yours. Then their students, forever. That's the legacy we're building, not victory, but continuity. System that continues regardless of who falls. Luke was quiet for a long moment. I used to think we'd win someday. Beat chaos permanently. Have peace. Youth's optimism. Now you know better. Yes. Now I know we just hold the line. Forever. Exactly. Anakin placed massive hand on son's shoulder. But holding line is victory. Every day chaos doesn't consume, galaxy is win. Every generation that grows up safe is win. We don't need ultimate victory. We just need today's victory. Then tomorrow's. Forever. Forever. Luke echoed. They stood together, watching darkness between stars. Out there, chaos waited, plotting, planning next incursion. But here, on edge of known space, Anakin Skywalker waited too. Primarch, Grey Knight, eternal warrior, ready for whatever came. Today, tomorrow, forever. Because that's what warriors did. They didn't win wars. They endured them, and Anakin Skywalker would endure until stars went cold. The end.